Yeah, Assassin's Creed, lasso to the hammer squeeze. Thor and Wonder Woman battle at the apple trees. Or like Adam Eve happened at an Applebee's. Y'all can go half on a sample platter, you can have with cheese.
Alright guys, so why is the Tomorrowverse a terrible universe? Now, most of y'all saw my review of the Justice League Infinite Crisis or Infinite Earths, don't care. Part 1. I didn't like it. I tried my best. I tried my due diligence to really give it a chance, and I couldn't do it. The problem with this universe is not planning. You have to plan this thing out, especially an event like this. If you read the comic, it's a big-ass event. Do the homework, do the work. And what I mean is make us care about these characters. We don't really care about the universe characters that much because they are forcing certain storylines and things and doing it on a quick whim instead of doing it like, real fast. You have all these random films with multiple storylines from different comics and trying to blend them together. Like, I think Green Lantern, Beware My Power had 2 or 3 different storylines together, and all those storylines can be a film of itself. And it just didn't make sense. Another thing is, follow the source material. When you look at Justice League War World, that did not follow nothing other than a Twilight Zone episode. And that was the worst thing I have ever seen in my life. That was terrible. It didn't make sense. It was confusing. I had to watch it separate times. That will work on an episode format, not a film format. That's why people, when they tried it before, I think they did Twilight Zone, a movie, it didn't work because people were like, what the fuck are you doing? It only works for a TV format, not a film format. And you probably said, well, Johnson, they didn't have time to change it. Oh, I knew that. When they thought, and let me say this again, I bet they thought War World was going to be a masterpiece and everybody going to love it. When those reviews came out, mine and everybody else's, they probably were like, fuck. Hopefully they like Justice League Infinite Crisis. It was already done. They put in that work, it was done. I didn't like it. The problem with Justice League Crisis is all this time, the present, the past, the future, they go back and forth. And then they try to put dots together, how the Justice League was formed, which was the most ludicrous thing I have ever seen in my life. It's like, let's go to Batman's house. Let's talk to Batman. Let's put them together. Let's do this. Axe time. I didn't like Justice League War, but I like how they came together because it was a threat. You know what I'm saying? I like the way the Justice League should have been put together, and they should always follow the blueprint. And they got these blueprints. Is the Justice League animated series. And that introduced Martian the Manhunter. You introduce a new character, which nobody knew about, and you introduce a big threat to bring these characters together, and that was a perfect climax. I mean, a perfect way to do it. It's beautiful. That's the format they need to follow, but they didn't. I mean, it's multiple things what makes this universe not good. When it started with Man of Tomorrow, I liked it. And then they did what's the other one? Justice League Society. I said, okay, cool. Then they started doing Legion of Superheroes. I said, all right, it's not the best, but they keep turning superheroes to villains. That's a problem. And they kept doing it. And then Green Lantern, Beware My Power. I was like, all right. That's when the cracks started. Some people like that one, more power to them. I think the film could have been a whole lot better if they just followed the Sinestro Corps War. That was it. They didn't need all the extra shit. If they were doing a Green Lantern, Beware My Power Part 1 and 2, it would have worked. But if they put all of that in one film, it failed. That's why it failed, if you ask me. The idea was good. The story was there. Just the execution and trying to put everything in that one film, that was the biggest problem with me. And that's why I didn't like it. And given how Jordan's storyline to John, no, he has his own fucking storyline. You can mix that better. I mean, anyway. But the Tomorrowverse is a terrible universe. It's just a terrible universe because it's not executed well. It's not built up well. When you look at the DC New 52, I had my problems with that universe. Oh, dear Lord, I had my problems. But at the end of the day, when they build up to Justice League Dark Side War or Justice League Apocalypse War, the deaths matter. People talked about that because they build up to that. We didn't expect Mira to get her head blown the fuck up. We didn't expect fucking Aquaman to get killed. We didn't expect freaking Cyborg to be part of the apocalypse. We didn't expect all of that from that film, especially the first 5 to 10 minutes of that month. But they earned it. They earned that. They earned it, and it was properly done correctly. When you look at Justice League Infinite Wars or Crisis Infinite Wars, what have they earned? What have they done to build to that? Not a goddamn thing. We just figured out how the Justice League was put together in that motherfucker. And then you expect me the worlds collided? Oh, you goddamn lost your goddamn mind. But you want to put in the work. Okay. At the end of the day, and I said this again, plan it, do the work, and it will come. The New 52 had problems. But I say this again, with all the Batman films, and I said this in my video, with all the damn Hush, with Wonder Woman Bloodlines, and I can't stand that, but I'd rather watch that than Justice League War, and this one too. The work was put in. You put in the work, we will come. If you look at Death of Superman, The Reign of Superman, and Justice League Apocalypse, that's a trilogy. That is a trilogy film with the Justice League. Still, Superman is the center point of the both. Well, Superman is actually the center point of actually all three of them, but it was done properly. And it worked very well. It was executed perfection. The death of Superman was executed perfection. That's the best adaptation we have got of the death of Superman. Better than the one we got Batman v Superman, better than the one we got Superman Doomsday, better than anything we got. Because it was good. Story and everything. But it was actually built up to that. We actually got invested with the Superman character through other films. Was it done properly? Absolutely not. We didn't get enough Superman films. But we got them in Justice League War. We got them in Justice League Throne of Atlantis. We got them in Justice League versus the Teen Titans, I believe. Then we got them in Justice League Dark Universe for a little. But we had these, slowly but surely, we were having stuff in there that when we got there, boom, it worked. But like I said, the problem with this universe is no one's putting in the work. They expect us, they'll know because they just had a universe that put in the work. We don't have to do that. No, motherfuckers. If you want the rewards, you're going to have to earn the reward. This ain't a participation trophy. I don't do that here. Just because you show up doesn't mean you get anything. You got to do the work. And that's what the fans are saying. The problem with Green Lantern Beware My Power, you try to cram all that in one film and knowing damn well one storyline was needed. The problem with Justice League War, you were trying to be a Twilight Zone episode where you just need to follow the source material. The problem with Infinite Crisis, where you're trying to fill in the dots that the other films that were supposed to do it, you didn't do it, and it became a mess. I hope part 2 and 3 is better, because part 1 was trash. And everybody's like, oh, this is a better film. This is actually great. You have a right to your opinion. I think you need to get examined, but you have a right to your opinion. I will say it is better than Warworld, but that's very slim. But that's all I got to say on it. I said it enough. As always, guys, like, subscribe. Peace. Have a Johnson day. I'll see you guys next video.